Donald Trump just came up with his latest excuse for his very obvious mental decline, and it is really something to behold. I'll show you exactly what I mean, but let me just say first that older people losing cognitive function is serious, and no one should be making fun of that issue. What we should do is make fun of Donald Trump for throwing stones while sitting inside a very, very delicate glass house. Now, we all know that Trump is the five-star chef, the Bobby Flay, as it were, of the word salad.
Your devotion, prowess, Jerusalem, on the southern half of this peninsula. Replace chasms of distrust and the internet, then you will gain momentum. Terminating the diverse, rich transition. This Russia thing with Trump, Ghana, Guinea, Nambia. You cherish Utah's gleaming rivers, the disaster known as Obamacare. As Hurricane Irma approaches, President Ulysses S. Grant, Cassandra Pourlaire.
Concern for his awareness of where he is, who he is, and what year it is only intensified a couple weeks ago when he seemed to mix up who is currently president of the United States.
A very tough, strong guy, Viktor Orban. They were interviewing him 2 weeks ago, and they said, what would you advise President Obama? I'll tell you the one thing I don't want to be Herbert Hoover. I always said, I don't want to be Herbert Hoover.
By the way, did you notice in there that thinking Barack Obama is still the president was only one of 3 incredible things he did? The other 2 were openly praising authoritarian strongman Viktor Orban and saying that he didn't want to be Herbert Hoover. And of course, that's exactly the thing he is. In fact, the worst president on the economy since Herbert Hoover, both in terms of jobs and economic growth. In an appearance on the Brian Kilmeade show on Fox, he made the same mistake and then just doubled down on it.
Brian, it's all coming through Iran, and Obama he doesn't want to talk about it.
You mean President Biden. So, but right now...
I also mean Obama.
What do you mean?
I mean Obama and Biden, but Obama is Biden's boss, in case you didn't really know that.
And then he actually just went on Truth Social and tripled down and claimed that mixing up who the president is part of his deliberate strategy. But here's the kicker, and where things start to get really meta, like a stupid version of Inception for people whose brains don't work right.
You see, when the dream experts go in, they attempt to take the subject to a dream within a dream. Like a taco within a taco?
A double-decker taco supreme.
Exactly.
Because in that very same post on Truth Social, Trump once again claimed that he just took a cognitive test and aced it, just like he did when he was in the White House. The thing is, that previous time 3 years ago when he claimed to ace a cognitive test, it didn't exactly go well for him.
He's been bragging about a cognitive test that he took.
Incidentally, I took the test too when I heard that you passed it.
Yeah, how did you do it?
Well, it's not the hardest test.
They get very hard the last 5
Well,
questions.
one of them was count back from 100 by 7.
So we also looked at the questions. The test includes pictures of animals to identify. And when you get down to the last 5 questions, which are those ones that the president said are the hard ones, you're asked to, quote, name maximum number of words in 1 minute that begin with the letter F.
Let me just quickly insert my version. Fascist, fool, failure, fabricator, fake, false, faulty, feckless, feeble, festering, fetid, fishy, flawed, flim-flam, flustered, forgery, forgetful, foul, fragile, frightening, fugitive, and fraud.
And then the very last questions ask that you name the date, the month, year, day, the place, and the city that you are in. This is an exam that's meant to identify people who have Alzheimer's or other forms of dementia. And for many, this is prompting the question, why did the president's doctors decide that he needed to take the exam? It's also prompting the question of why is he bragging about this?
Doctor, can you explain why the president would think this is a hard test? To be perfectly honest, I think my 8-year-old son could take this test and do very well.
I'm sure he could.
So now, just so we're all clear, he's telling us that he aced a cognitive test, just like the last cognitive test he aced, which was actually embarrassing for him, and that shows that his constant mix-ups are really a next-level attempt at irony, because we all know how much the MAGA crowd loves subtlety, in an attempt to point out that someone else is the one with the cognitive problems. Oh, and somehow praising Viktor Orban and not knowing your own economic record are also part of that elaborate scheme. Got that? Psh.